Whoa! Wild news in DC today, all right here. Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. I've got a bunch of DC topics today that you want to hear. Starts off with Peter Safran, the producer of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, talking about the social media campaign to get Amber Heard off of Aquaman 2. David Ayer released a full statement about his life and his cut of the Suicide Squad. Finally get a first look at Ezra Miller in the Flash costume. But it's not what you think. And then it looks like J.K. Simmons is going to be Commissioner Gordon in the Batgirl film. What does that mean for Ben Affleck as Batman? Let's talk about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Talking with Deadline, Peter Safran, the producer of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and the Suicide Squad, he was asked whether the social media campaign by Johnny Depp fans to influence to get Amber Heard off of Aquaman 2 had any effect on production and casting decisions. This is what he had to say. "I don't think we're ever going to react to honestly pure fan pressure," said Safran. "You gotta do what's best for the movie. We felt that if it's James Wan and Jason Momoa, it should be Amber Heard." That's really what it was. One is not unaware of what is going on in the Twitterverse, but that doesn't mean you have to react to it or take it as gospel or accede to their wishes. You have to do what's right for the film, and that's really where we landed on it. So all those rumors, all that talk about Amber Heard being taken off Aquaman 2, Aquaman the Lost Kingdom, apparently were not true. It did not affect their decisions at all. They were 100% still going to have Amber Heard as Mera in the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Now, Johnny Depp fans apparently are saying that this will affect their viewing of Aquaman the Lost Kingdom, so I guess we'll have to see when Aquaman the Lost Kingdom comes out, if the viewership is down, if not many people went to the theaters for it, how much that decision will affect Aquaman 2. Or maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see. Now, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is coming out next week, and a lot of people are getting ready to watch it. A lot of critics have watched it as well. But there's one annoying thing that a lot of the critics are putting in their reviews that are crapping on David Ayer's Suicide Squad in comparison to James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. I mean, instead of saying it's better than the other, they really dogpiled on David Ayer's Suicide Squad. And David Ayer has had enough. He put out a big statement talking about his life, how he got into screenplay, how he grew up in the streets, how he worked on a submarine. But we're not going to talk about all that personal stuff. Let's get with what he said about his Suicide Squad. "I put my life into Suicide Squad. I made something amazing. My cut is intricate, an emotional journey with some bad people who were shit on and discarded, a theme that resonates in my soul. The studio cut is not my movie." Read that again. "And my cut is not the 10-week director's cut. It's a fully mature edit by Lee Smith, standing on the incredibly work by John Gilroy. It's all Stephen Price's brilliant score, with not a single radio song in the whole thing. It has traditional character arcs, amazing performances, a solid third act resolution. A handful of people have seen it. If someone says they have seen it, they haven't. So yeah, should be clear by now, I don't have any quit in me, never have, and why should I? Every day breathing is a gift. I thought my story was going to end in a grave or cell long ago, so these I'm living are bonus rounds. I'm so honored and blessed to have the career I do. Quit? After my kids watch me come home every day after the studio takeover of the edit with my heart torn out, who would I be to them if I quit?" Now, will we hear more about David Ayer's Suicide Squad? What happened then in the production and all that? I've never told my side of the story, and I never will. Why? Same reason no one will ever know what happened on my submarine. I keep my covenants. I'm old school like that. So I kept my mouth shut and took the tsunami of sometimes shockingly personal criticism. Why? That's what I've done my whole life. Real talk, I'd rather get shot at. Now, there's always this fandom trying to pit one Suicide Squad with the next, but as you know, David Ayer and James Gunn are pretty comfortable with each other and have discussed things with each other as well. I'm so proud of James and excited for the success that's coming. I support Warner Brothers and I'm thrilled the franchise is getting the legs it needs. I'm rooting for everyone, the cast, the crew. Every movie is a miracle, and James' brilliant work will be the miracles of miracles. I appreciate your patience and will no longer speak publicly on this matter. Now, even though that's his last word, it really catapulted something, a domino effect, and everybody's talking about it. The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, all these news sites, critics, verifieds, everywhere. Even James Gunn supported him. Kathy Yan, the director of Birds of Prey, also supports him. Ray Fisher, Ray Porter, Lots of people. So Release the Ayer cut had a lot of love today, even though there's supposed to be a fan-driven event next week, August 5th, to do a Release the Ayer cut trending campaign. It pretty much trended today because of David Ayer. Now, I don't know if we'll ever get the Ayer cut. I hope so. I hope for David Ayer's sake. But I do know that today, with all that he said here, it seems that more people understood all the crap they were giving to the Suicide Squad that came out in 2016 was uncalled for, because that wasn't his vision. Yeah, there's still some bozos out there, but one day they'll learn. Alright, let's talk about the Flash movie. Today, there was a horrifying accident in terms of a crew member got injured while they were shooting that chase scene. I hope that crew member is okay. That person was taken to the hospital, and I'm not sure what came of that. But we're always talking about Batman, and we never get to see the Flash. The guy who plays the titular character? Ezra Miller. Where is he? Well, we finally see him today, and according to the Flash Film News, that is Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller appeared on set in his new costume. It appears it will be a mix between practical and CGI. Totally can see his headpiece there, but he's got the pajamas. Very much the same as Ray Fisher when he played Cyborg. And it's probably because there's a lot of digital effects that are happening all over his body, which his new suit has. I remember Andy Muschietti talking about how all that power, I guess the Speed Force, is coursing through his suit that was developed by Bruce Wayne. So I'm not sure if this is actually part of the Batman chase scene. Maybe it is. Maybe he catches up with the bad guys and beats Bruce Wayne to the punch. But with all this increasing shots of that chase scene, and it's seemingly maybe going in order, I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow, or by the time you see this. Also on the Flash set, I thought this was really cool to share. The Batman stunt performer actually had a quick chat with a kid who was dressed as Batman. Check out this heartwarming clip where he interacted with the little Batman. Yeah, and he's just a stunt performer. He's not even like Ben Affleck or Michael Keaton. So I thought this was really sweet. This is really cool. And it probably made that kid's day. Speaking of the Batman, we're all talking about Ben Affleck as Batman coming over on the Flash. Probably a lot more than actual Flash. The one question on everybody's mind is Batgirl. Okay, well, my mind anyway. Leslie Grace was recently cast as the new Batgirl for the DCEU. Or is she part of Matt Reeves' Batman universe? Or Michael Keaton's Batman universe? Which Batman universe is she going to be in? Well, it was finally revealed today on The Hollywood Reporter that none other than J.K. Simmons is in talks to return to the role of Commissioner Gordon. That's right, Batgirl's dad. Oh, this is exciting. This is great. It really means that all those IG posts that Adele L. Arby, one of the directors of Batgirl, liking posts about J.K. Simmons as Gordon, actually came true. Yeah, I guess the tinfoil hat still works. And we should be excited because what that means is essentially the characters from the Snyderverse lives on. And I'm not sure why people are arguing whether J.K. Simmons should have been her dad or somebody else. If he marries a Latina or a Dominican, then it still works. Look at Michael Keaton when he played the Vulture in Spider-Man. Yeah, he had a black daughter, which is kind of crazy that fans were thinking of that, because the first thought that came through my mind that J.K. Simmons is Commissioner Gordon, that means Ben Affleck is Batman in that world. Hello? Now this makes a lot of sense, because remember Daniel RPK, an insider in Hollywood, said that Ben Affleck is also rumored to be in talks to have multiple roles in further movies beyond the Flash movie. And I could totally see him having a cameo in an HBO Max movie called Batgirl. Maybe just one scene where Batman and Batgirl take on some bad guys. Maybe he's going to train her, help her out, because maybe he's the only one that knows that is Commissioner Gordon's daughter, Barbara Gordon, which also makes the other rumor true where Michael Keaton's Batman Beyond will still be a Batman Beyond movie, and they're separating the Batgirl movie to not be a Batgirl Beyond movie and making sure it's its own thing over on HBO Max, which furthermore means that Terry McGinnis will be Batman in that other Batman Beyond movie, if that is actually happening. So I'm liking this. I'm liking the separation here. Yes, Michael Keaton's Batman, and maybe he was brought into the DCEU, but he's not going to be the Batman. He's going to be an old Bruce Wayne. He's probably effectively going to retire. That means they still need a Batman, and who are they going to have? They can have either Terry McGinnis, or they can have Batgirl, or maybe we can still have Ben Affleck as Batman. Can you imagine a conversation on a rooftop where J.K. Simmons, Ben Affleck, and Leslie Grace are talking together? That would be insane.